Hello, Brubs. We're back with new book Arrivals number 311. And these are all books I purchased a couple hours ago. Found a pretty good cash at the thrift store. Um, these six are all from Julie Kagawa. They're all from the Iron Fey series, and I plan to sell all of these. So that's an easy set to go through. Hey, look, we got a little Mia there, bruvs. Um, The Waiting Sands, The Devil on Lammas Night. I can't remember exactly when Lammas Night is, but I believe it's in the summer. Could be wrong, but I don't know. I also believe I have this book already, but any kind of book that mentions like Lammas Night or what's it called? Any of those witch nights, I always get them. So this will go in my classic gothic romance. Henry Miller, Black Spring. Nice classic. Don't care for Miller. Think he's garbage, but others seem to like him, so I picked it up, 1963, nice hardcover. I think these were some kind of what's it called? Book club kind of editions, because these are pretty common. Not common, but common to be found among Miller's oeuvre. P.J. O'Rourke, Eat the Rich, a treatise on economics. And I've started collecting P.J. O'Rourke after he died. Obviously, he was a kind of like the Hunter S. Thompson of the right. Holidays in Hell. Modern Manners, The Bachelor Home Companion, Republican Party Reptile. Parliament of Holes, Give War a Chance, All the Trouble in the World. Age and Guile Beat Youth, Innocence, and A Bad Haircut. I thought I bought Give War a Chance. What the hell is it? Did I already go through that? Or anyway, Eat the Rich. Vladimir Nabokov, or is it Nabokov? I'm never sure how to pronounce it. But this is Ada, a new novel by the author of Lolita. This is obviously a book club edition. Book club edition! You'd never expect this guy to write Lolita, but there he is. What do you got, Rob? Nice classic hardcover for $1. Can't beat it, bruv. What year was this book published originally? Or Arter, A Family Chronicle. 1969er. The Feuding Hatfields and McCoys, Timeline and Pictorial History by Dr. Coleman C. Hatfield, including rare family photographs and stories published here for the first time. What do you got, Brobs? These goddamn hillbillies fighting. This volume is presented in the unique and distinctive voice of Dr. Coleman C. Hatfield, grandson of Anderson Devil Ance Hatfield. It's offered with Dr. Hatfield's entertaining Appalachian storytelling flair. Here you'll find a timeline of events that tracks the history of the Hatfield migration westward in broad strokes and eventually meanders its way to the rich American story of the Hatfields and McCoy feud. It's coupled with a variety of unique family stories that have been passed down through the children of Anderson Devil Ance Hatfield. This was a pleasant little find. It's funny, too, because I was thinking about this book the other day. Dune by Frank Herbert. And this is potentially a first edition. I don't know. I did see that there was the title page or the copyright page has no markings. What's up, Crybaby? As I just found a first edition of Frank Herbert's Dune, so that's always nice. And I don't. What do you got? To the people whose labors go beyond ideas into the realm of real materials. So this book's probably worth about $150, I think. Paid $1 for it. What's this? This page better not be ripped. You better not be ripped, bruv. I think it's just miscut. And it's kind of crinkled. That's all right, bruv. Don't rip it. I'm 397 years old. How old are you? Hey, there's a map, too. John 3:16. What's John 3:16 say? So yeah, it's a nice first edition of Frank Herbert's Dune. It's Bible. Yeah, obviously it's the Bible. This book is not the Bible, but it could be the science fiction Bible for some people. UFO crash at Roswell. As you can see, the bargain price $7.98 shows you that it wasn't very sought after. The genesis of a modern myth. Benson Saylor, Charles A. Ziegler, and Charles B. Moore. Obviously, it's about Roswell crash. Year did this come out? 97. Smithsonian. All right, so it came out by the Smithsonian, so you know it's probably a bunch of bunkum. This book I shouldn't have got, but I didn't look it up, so. Simon Schama, The Embarrassment of Riches, an interpretation of Dutch culture in the Golden Age. I only paid $1 for it, so I mean, it's honestly worth it. But I'll never read it, and it'll just go on a shelf in the basement. That's why I'm saying I shouldn't have got it. This one I definitely should have got. Halloween Party. As you can see, it's the old Halloween spelling. Halloween, which is All Hallows Evening, or All Hallows Eve. Agatha Christie Halloween Party. Bantam Books. It's funny, I was looking at a different edition of this book on my shelf before I went out today, and then I found this. 1984. Originally copyright 69. To P.G. Wodehouse. I didn't know she knew Wodehouse. Halloween Party. What's the original copyright? I don't think it was 69. But I could be wrong. Faux leather. Louise Brooks, a biography by Barry Paris. Some kind of a silent film star, I believe. From her early career as a dancer to her years as a film star in Hollywood and Berlin, she was hailed and reviled as a completely new type of woman. Independent, intellectually daring, and sexually free. So basically a whore. In this widely acclaimed first and only comprehensive biography of the celebrity cum recluse, Barry Paris traces Brooks' trajectory from her childhood to international fame, through her notorious fall into obscurity and her subsequent resurrection as a brilliant writer and enduring film icon. Basically a hoe. Now this one, this tops them all. Beautiful Things, a memoir by Hunter Biden. I'm going to have to read this on the channel. I didn't even know this book existed, but It's got to be pretty funny. Anything Hunter Biden has got to be funny. 2022. I was hoping he signed it, but no such luck. The curious feelings swarmed through him that everything was beautiful there, that it would always stay beautiful there. From Nirvana by Charles Bukowski. Well, he learned one thing from Bukowski, picking up hoes and drinking. Doing crack. I don't even think Bukowski did crack. Man, Visible and Invisible. C.W. Ledbetter. Or is that Leadbeater? I think it's Ledbetter. C.W. Ledbetter's astounding theory about the various spiritual auras is presented here, complete with the original illustrations and charts. The author reveals how the various shapes and tones of the aura of man underline the emotions and mental states of the individuals they surround. Each distinct state is discussed. Yeah, this guy was one of the most influential spiritualist writers of his time. I'm not exactly sure what his time was, but I believe it was early 1900 period. Yeah, first published in 1902. I know I have a book or two on this guy, so. The Arthurian Quest, Living the Legends of Camelot by Amber Wolfe, Llewellyn's Celtic Wisdom series. Obviously, you know Camelot, though you probably don't know what it is about. And I have to say that I'm pretty ignorant of King Arthur and all that bullshit. The Arthurian Quest is an exciting journey into the realm of myth and enchantment that will forever change the way you look at the world and yourself. Discover how these spiritually enriching legends can become your catalyst for personal evolution. Not interested. Snug Harbor, Early Trenton by the river. And I assume this means Trenton, Michigan, but yes, it does. Because I have the book, but I was thinking maybe I didn't look at it correctly, and maybe it was not Trenton, Michigan. It's basically just a history book of Trenton, Michigan. So now I have 2 copies. I can sell this one for a couple bucks if need be. Obviously with all the library markings on it, which are not to be appreciated. Daniel Defoe, Roxana. A woman ought rather to die than to prostitute her virtue and honor. Yes. Do women now believe that? No. Roxana, Defoe's last and darkest novel, is the autobiography of a woman who has traded her virtue at first for survival and then for fame and fortune. Its narrator tells the story of her own wicked life as the mistress of rich and powerful men. Endowed with many seductive skills, she is herself seduced by money, by dreams of rank, and by the illusion that she can escape her own past. Unlike Defoe's other penitent anti-heroes, however, she fails to triumph over these weaknesses. Sounds like a good book to read. If only. Charlotte Lennox, the female Quixote, the female Quixote. I was going to say Quixote, but that ain't how you say it. It's Quixote, I believe. Brought up by her widowed father in a remote English castle, Arabella resorts to reading the French novels popular in her mother's youth, and in the solitude of this Arcadia, paints a picture of her life as adventurous and deeply romantic. When her father dies, however, she inherits a barbed legacy. If she is not to lose part of the estate, it appears she must marry her cousin Glanville, But Arabella has developed a different private code of conduct, which does not allow her to take any role but center stage in the drama of her own life. Her literary heroines are always in control. What do you got, Probs? I mean, these books I'm going to sell because they're garbage. Julie Kagawa. I bought them for 50 cents a piece, and I'll probably sell the stack for 30 bucks. But many of these I'm not going to sell. Why, you want to buy some? The Song of Achilles, a novel by Madeline Miller. This one I plan to sell for like $5. Hi. Achilles, the best of all the Greeks, son of the cruel sea goddess Thetis. I don't know if that's how you say it. And the legendary king Peleus is strong, swift, and beautiful, irresistible to all who meet him. Patroclus is an awkward young prince, exiled from his homeland after an act of shocking violence. Brought together by chance, they forge an inseparable bond despite risking the gods' wrath. They are trained by the centaur Chiron in the arts of war and medicine, but when word comes that Helen of Sparta has been kidnapped, all the heroes of Greece are called upon to lay siege to Troy in her name. Seduced by the promise of a glorious destiny, Achilles joins their cause, and torn between love and fear for his friend Patroclus, follows. Little do they know that the cruel fates will test them both as never before and demand a terrible sacrifice. The room had a few threadbare tapestries. Here's another book I'll sell. Wool by Hugh Howey. I already have a copy of this and I sold that, so I'm not sure why I added a second copy to sell as well, but 2012. Hugh Howey wrote Wool while working as a bookseller, writing each morning and during every lunch break for nearly 3 years. Originally self-published in 2011, Wool has grown into a New York Times blockbuster. He now lives in Jupiter, Florida with his wife, Amber, and their dog, Bella. What would you do if the world outside was deadly and the air you breathed could kill? And you lived in a place where every birth required a death, and the choices you made could save lives or destroy them. This is Julie's story. This is the world of Wool. This book I paid a dime for, which is the only reason why I bought it. Daniel Tyler, A Guide to Dickens's London. I have about 50 books on Dickens, and I've never read any of them. So, what's that tell you? Serpico, The Cop Who Defied the System, by Peter Maas, author of the Valakai Papers. On the night of February 3rd, 1971, patrolman Frank Serpico was shot in the head while on a supposedly routine narcotics raid in one of Brooklyn's roughest slums, as he lay in a hospital emergency room clinging desperately to what life was left in him. The top brass of the New York City Police Department and high officials at City Hall trembled to know whether he would live or die, asking themselves and each other if he had been shot by a half-crazed dope pusher or if he had been set up by other police officers. This book actually has some value, and I will sell it. I believe I have another copy of it, but it may be in paperback. This one's in really good condition. Really nice condition. Viking Press. Stoner by John Williams. Introduction by John McGarren. McGurn. Stoner is something rarer than a great novel. It is a perfect novel, so well told and beautifully written, so deeply moving that it takes your breath away. William Stoner is born at the end of the 19th century into a dirt poor Missouri farming family. Sent to the state university to study agronomy, he instead falls in love with English literature and embraces a scholar's life so different from the hardscrabble, pardon, dusty book, apparently. Sent to the state university to study agronomy, he instead falls in love with English literature and embraces a scholar's life so different from the hardscrabble existence he has known. And yet, as the years pass, and this sneeze is coming back, Stoner encounters a succession of disappointments. Marriage into a proper family estranges him from his parents. His career is stymied. His wife and daughter turn cold away from him. A transforming experience of new love ends under threat of scandal. Driven even deeper within himself, Stoner rediscovers the stoic silence of his forebears and confronts an essential solitude. I thought it was about a guy that got high, so shows you what I know. Yeah, I thought it was like some drug culture book, even though it has a guy that looks like a businessman on it, but I know it's worth some money. Not a lot, but some. Need to Know UFOs, the Military and Intelligence by Timothy Good. Geed. Air Force Order on Saucers Sighted. What year was this from? 2007. Facts. In 1945, the U.S. military recovered an alien spacecraft. Facts. A French pilot serving in the USAF fired at a UFO in the first recorded incident of this kind, also in 1945. Facts. The U.S. shot down several flying discs in the late 1940s, a period marked by an unprecedented wave of unexplained aircraft crashes. Would be nice if I had 1 million subscribers and I was making 7 billion a year. Then I would just send books to people. I'd have my my goth secretaries and my what are they called? Dwarfs ship out books every day to people. There you go. Here's a free book, buddy. All right, that's all. You got 23 minutes of me. That's all you deserve. I'll wait till it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'll stop this bullshit. 2, 3, 4, 5.